Happiness is beautiful, it's a kind reality. Happiness is the highest good, happiness is free. So let's be so very happy. Yeah, let's be so very happy. Yeah, let's be so very happy.
Welcome to the Happiness Show. This is George Ortega. I'm here with Lionel, and we're here to talk about happiness because happiness is, always has been, and always will be the point of it all. Today's topic is going to be Lionel's health through happiness, and in this very special episode, Lionel is going to be explaining how becoming happier has helped him become healthier.
Thank you very much, George, and I hope I'm able to do that, not for my sake, but for yours, because I've really benefited from being happy, both psychologically, physically, and my health as well. So there's more and more research coming out all the time about how happiness can affect our health, and it does as well. So with that, let's begin. All of us, I think, can be just a little bit happier. I think all of us can be just a little bit healthier. You know, it's in our nature, right? Let's relax. And when I say relax, if you're at home, that doesn't mean you know, pick up a slice of pizza. Unless it's part of your routine diet and it's incorporated into your program, and you're not just sitting there trying to kill some time, because you could be a lot happier relaxing at home and really paying attention. Let's really get into this, you and I, because this is something that could benefit you, and I'm really not benefiting here at all. I've already benefited from what I'm about to tell you, but I think it's important enough for me to share it with you. I've actually gotten a lot healthier, and I think the real reason is happiness. And I want to share that with you. Sometimes I call it the happiness diet. I've lost some weight, but much more important than losing weight, in fact, I'm going to share with you that losing weight is not the reason you go on a diet. I know it's your motivation in the beginning to want to lose weight, look better, be more attractive, have a better self-confidence, but losing weight isn't the real benefit for you. It really isn't. And what is, well, well-being is, being happy is, feeling more expanded in life, feeling that you can enjoy life, that you deserve to have the best for you. That's really a good reason to be on the happiness diet. And why do I call it the happiness diet? Why don't I call it the Atkins diet, the South Beach diet, or the Weight Watchers diet? Because I think happiness is the single key to maintaining an effective enrichment program for your benefit. And enrichment is not just weight loss, or maybe even it isn't even about overcoming an illness, which is a very big part of it, I must say, because in my case, for me, it was diabetes, and that's not something to be very happy about in general. I'm going to be 60 years old this year, and the problem with diabetes is that when you're around 60, no problem, you got diabetes, they give you drugs, they tell you to try to eat a little bit better, and they try to help you control diabetes. And then when you hit around 70, it flares up, you lose limbs, you have heart attacks, you have a stroke, you end up dying. And this is one of the problems. In fact, with diabetes, three out of 4 diabetics end up with a heart attack. That doesn't mean that they necessarily die from it, but they do have a heart attack. And when I started reading these statistics, I said to myself, this is not a good thing. And so to give you a little background into what I did, I was pre-diabetic for about a year. I was told to eat better, more frequent meals, which I tried to do. Didn't do more frequent, smaller meals, I should say. And, told to eat 2 slices of wheat bread a day, a balance of certain foods that, I think some people are fairly familiar with. Well, I did eat much better and closer to the way they wanted me to eat. And in fact, the truth is that I lost weight. I almost lost 30 pounds. I was pre-diabetic at the time, and at the end of that year, having lost 30 pounds, eating pretty much the way I was told to eat, seeing a doctor, I went from pre-diabetes to diabetes. And that was doing it the way the doctor said. Plus, by the way, I exercised. So, which is something I wasn't doing before. And my exercise was walking. So, I have to report to you that when I heard I had diabetes, your mind says to you, hey, that's not fair. I tried doing it right. I tried following the script, doing it the way I was told to do, but life doesn't have to be fair. You have to deal with what you have to deal with. So a friend of mine had told me about a new book that had come out last year, and this is not, trying to sell a book, because I've got no interest in you buying the book, although there's many people that I've told this about this book that have gone out and bought it, and it's the Atkins diet for type 2 diabetes. It was interesting that at the time, eating more meat, less carbs, very few carbs, by the way, limiting my carb intake to maybe 20 carbs a day, and 3 olives have a couple of 1 or 2 carbs in them. So bearing that in mind, wheat bread has lots of carbs. So I really kept my carb limit down, exercised, took a number of vitamins, and what happened? I beat diabetes. I mean, I think that's fascinating. I was on a pill. I won't get into naming medicines because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a pharmacist, but I got off diabetic medication, I got off a cholesterol medication, and at the time I was on 2 high blood pressure pills. Am I perfectly healthy now? No. I'm on the way, though, and what I want to share with you is that all these things that I've done made me much more proactive in taking control of my particular situation, and that's to manage my weight, to manage my situation, maybe the illness, my age, and everything else. And these factors were important for me, so I took control of what I could, and that was walking every day. Some simple things that I might suggest to you. Was I walking before? Yes. Was I walking as regularly and as diligently and as disciplined as I am now? No. I walk every day, almost 5 miles, and I do it. There's a very easy way to do this. You just go out to the store and you pick up a pedometer. It's this little thing. People write to me and say, I got one, but I wish I knew how to use it. You just pull the little tab out, stick it on your belt, forget about the adjustments. It doesn't matter what your stride is. A step is a step. It'll tell you how many steps you walk. You get up to 10,000 a day. That's about 5 miles. And the good thing is if you've only, walked 6,000 steps and it's 9 o'clock at night, you don't get into the armchair and say, oh man, this feels good. I'm going to just sit here and relax. I know I didn't get to 10,000, but I'll do it tomorrow. You get out, you walk. It's raining, you bring an umbrella. It's cold out, you figure out a place to go. You can go to the mall. The mall's closed. You can go to Stop and Shop. You can figure something out. You can buy a treadmill. My wife calls it a rat machine. But that's what you could do. There's excuses or there's results. You pick. So that's what I've been doing, and it feels great to take control. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. Is it worth it? I bet my life it's worth it. Now, are you betting yours? That's the question. So, what does all this have to do with happiness? I'll tell you. Just the other day, I found some research, and I just can't, grab it again, but what's the _1 important success factor in diets? And we'll call this a diet for a moment, because I call it the happiness diet. What do you think is the #1 factor that makes success of any diet? What is the one key ingredient to the success of a diet? Can you guess? Okay, let me help you out. I heard it, I said, wow, that's intriguing. You know what the key factor is? According to this study, any diet will work. All of them will work, as long as you do one thing. Stick to it. They found that if you stick to a diet for 1 year, you're going to do very well. It doesn't even matter what kind of magical diet you're on or what you've come up with. And that's intriguing to me. I really find that interesting. Although I would suggest that as a diabetic, you really take very seriously the intake of carbs, because that's something that's out of control for diabetics. And, you know, for whatever reason, there are other things that can work. They don't just work for me, they work for other people. So, but whatever you choose to do, if you stick to it, that's the key. Now let me tell you why I think this is about the most important thing you can do, and why it was important for me. Let me share something with you that you may not believe. When I started to lose those 30 pounds, and I went from pre-diabetic to diabetic, you would think I was doing well by losing weight. I lost weight, got diabetes. Interesting. I went on the Atkins diet, ate much more than I thought I would be allowed to eat, but you know, I'm not on an Atkins diet to be on a diet and just get healthy. I'm on it for life. That's what I'm doing. I'm not on a diet so that I can get off the diet so I could start eating the way I used to eat. That's not the reason I'm doing it. I'm not going back. But the thing is that once I was on this diet and stayed on a diet, what happened was I really didn't lose that much weight. Maybe I lost 10 pounds, and I lost it very quickly. Right at the beginning of the diet, more pounds rolled off. Maybe about 10 pounds altogether. And that was it. Now, I was on this diet, I think it was about, let's say 5 months, maybe 4 months, let's say 5 months, probably about 5 months now. When I started on a diet, I was on a number of medications, and I really didn't lose much weight. And whatever weight I lost came off right in the beginning. What happened next? I went through 4 months, and the scale, every day, I get on the scale every day. I know some say you shouldn't. Well, why not? Get some instant feedback. But there's a point to what I'm telling you now. I got on the scale every day, and you would think my scale was painted because it never moved. It was on the same spot every day for 4 months. Would you stay on a diet if you knew your scale was going to move for 4 months and you were making changes and you were walking and you were doing all those things? I bet you wouldn't, would you? Well, let me tell you the rest of the story. The story is that although I wasn't losing weight on my scale, I was getting healthier because blood work was being drawn. Everything was improving. In fact, my cholesterol level went to a dangerous low. They pulled me off the drug. I was getting muscle cramps because they said, hey, cholesterol level has gone too low. So get off that cholesterol medication. I never saw any of this show up on the scale, not ever. So I got off drugs, got healthier, never saw any of it. People look at me and they say, you know, Lionel, you really lost weight. And I go, thank you, but I haven't lost anything. And they're like, come on. Do I feel lighter? Yes. Are my clothes looser? Yes. Have I lost fat? Yes. Has my belt notch gone down to the lowest? Just about. Depends which belt I'm wearing. But here's the thing. But I haven't lost weight. I've lost inches. I've lost fat. I haven't really lost pounds. What does that tell me? I'm not a scientist. I'm a regular person. I'm a happy person. But what it's told me is that my walking has put on muscle. My walking has taken off fat. And I could just, you know, talk about diabetes. One of the problems with diabetics is that they build up fat right in the middle. You know, they get chunky right in here, right in the midsection. And that's dangerous. So a lot of that has come off, but not a lot of weight. Now, I find that fascinating, and I tell you why I tell you this. Because if you go on a diet, what do you really think you're doing? What is your #1 reason to feel you're successful on a diet? Lost pounds, right? The scale never lies. Well, my scale tells the truth, but it doesn't tell you the whole truth. And I find that fascinating. And I have to share this with you because if you don't find the right way to eat for yourself, make the change, and then stick to it, what's going to happen? You're going to be on a yo-yo diet. You're going to go up and down. It's like happiness. You can't be happy sometimes and unhappy the rest of the time and think you're happy. No, you've got to get disciplined with this thing. You've got to go on this and maintain a certain level where you're going to fit in with this. Otherwise, what's going to happen? You're going to give up. And that's where you lose it all. That's where you get discouraged. That's where you get depressed. That's where it just doesn't work anymore, does it? So let's do what's best for you, okay? You're not going to go on the diet for me, and I never went on this diet for you. But for one thing, just standing up for a half an hour was pretty tough for me. Now, you know, walking for hours is something I look forward to. I really do enjoy it. When you start to discipline yourself to do things that you may have found difficult before to do, or you didn't want to do, and you start to discipline yourself to do it every day, is my suggestion, like exercise, then what happens is you start to look forward to it. You start feeling good about it. And that's important, to feel good, to find pleasure in what you're doing, because that will give you the sustenance, the drive, and the passion to keep doing it, because it's no good to do it for a little bit and then you just quit. I mean, what is that going to do for you? It's just going to make you feel like you just can't stick to it. You have to really think about why you want to do this. You have to rethink the pleasure of food. You really do. You have to sort of hold these things in your mind in a very different way. Like, you know, we went to a happiness party, you know, over the holidays around December. We had some cake, and somebody cut a piece of cake and say, "Lionel, how about a piece of cake?" And I say, "No, thank you. I don't eat that stuff." And they go, "How could you pass up the cake? I mean, don't you want it?" And I go, "No, because to me that piece of cake, you know, looks like ammonia or poison." And you know what? For me, it really is. And if I look at it that way, I mean, not that I'm afraid of it, but if I don't identify with it like I'm missing something or I'm denying myself something, then it is, you know, it is what it is. For me, it's poison. Why not call it that? So it certainly allows me to say, "No, thank you. You eat it. You know, it's not poison for you, but it is for me." And so that's given me a certain amount of freedom to realize that the way I'm feeling now, and not to require the use of certain drugs, is worth the effort. I mean, you know, to have a healthier lifestyle, to feel better, to feel happy, you know, that is really worth it. So I want to encourage people, you know, now that doesn't mean that if you're diabetic you should go on this diet. I think you should decide what is best for you, and then go with that, because otherwise you're going to just let everybody tell you what to do. You know how you feel. You know what you crave. Some people like certain foods. Some people don't. And, you know, I know there's a lot of success on Weight Watchers if you're disciplined and you stick to it. And is there cheating on a diet? Yeah, but who are you cheating? You're cheating yourself if you think about it. I mean, isn't that the truth? That why cheat yourself? Have a little more self-esteem for yourself and make yourself first. You know, back yourself up 100%. Don't allow outside situations or people to determine or tell you what you should eat, or feel guilty for not eating it, or say, "Oh, come on, it's somebody's birthday. Just this once you can have a piece of cake." Well, you don't tell that to an alcoholic. "Hey, listen, it's somebody's birthday. Just this once. Let's go in and get a hangover." We don't do that. So with eating, it's the same thing. We have to eat every day. So right away with eating, you could completely restart up all the bad habits if you don't keep a certain discipline over what you know you want to do. If you don't know what you're going to eat, you're very, very capable of eating the wrong things. So you should have an idea of what it is you're going to go for. Maybe have a few things in the refrigerator that are safety foods. I mean, if you come home hungry and you don't have time to prepare something, you know, you want to reach into the refrigerator for certain leftovers or something that you bought that you could, you know, get a hold of, and it would be okay if you ate that. Not something that you're going to reach for, which would be bad for you. Now, I think that's the difference. If you start making preparations for how you're going to live your life, rather than excuses, you're going to have that on your side. I think that it's interesting that with wealth, a lot of people, don't have to worry about a roof over their head or where their next meal is going to come from. But what's in their next meal is what is becoming very important. And so I suggest to you that you take your life very seriously, because I don't think it's fair to put your health in the hands of others, even if they're doctors. Even if they're doctors, they may know more about an illness, but do they really know more about health? It's interesting that now that I'm overcoming these illnesses, they know a great deal about what I had, but they're not really seeing me anymore for what I don't have. And so they don't know very much about what I've overcome. And nobody's saying, come in for an office visit. We want to see you because you're healthy, and we want to know how you did that. So that part of it seems to be lacking in the medical profession. This is not putting the medical profession down. The medical profession is there to deal with illness. It's not there to deal with good health. So I'm the advocate of good health and happiness, because I think the two go together. What is happiness? Happiness is having an inner state of well-being. What's health? Probably the same thing, an inner state of well-being, feeling good within your own skin. I'm able to do things that I haven't done before. I'm able to have more stamina. My thinking is much better. On the Atkins diet, and I'm not pushing the Atkins diet. It worked for me. I want to interject a thought before I forget this. If you're going to go on any diet, great. But again, the other component of a diet is exercise. I don't believe you can just go on a diet and have it work. I think you have to have the discipline of the diet, eating the right foods that you have now decided are good for you, and some form of exercise. Choose something that you enjoy. Running, maybe for you, not for me. I had a knee operation. I need my knees. I don't want to destroy them, but I do a lot of walking. Another factor is nutrition. In terms of vitamins, on the Atkins diet, I don't eat fruit. I eat vegetables, I eat salad, but I'm not eating fruit. I take, vitamin C. I take all kinds of vitamins that I think are beneficial and important, giving me the ingredients for what I need. That's something to look into. Even a simple thing like cinnamon. I take some cinnamon tablets that for some reason have been known to help diabetics. Now, it doesn't mean if you're a diabetic you get rid of your medication, you eat all the junk you want, and you take cinnamon, or you put cinnamon on your ice cream cones. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a supplement. When you do everything else right, there are also a couple of little things that can give you that extra boost in helping you turn the tide on your illness or the particular problem you may have. I think happiness works because it gives you that positive, uplifting spirit. I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. That's a lot better than, I don't know if I could do it. Oh, darn, this is killing me. And, I used to joke around and say, I'm going to lose weight if it kills me. But what I didn't realize is I'm not losing the weight like I thought I would. And when I realized how difficult it is to lose the weight for me, I say to myself, you want to know something that's worked for me rather than against me? You know why? Because anything that happens that I can't change, I look at. Number one, I accept it. And number two, I say to myself, what am I going to learn from this? And I'll tell you what I learned from the fact that that scale doesn't move much. And that is that I am not going to get off this diet. If it's this difficult to stay healthy, lose weight, and maintain what I'm doing, that's more reason that I am not going off. I think there's another advantage, and I mean, now I'm just making them up, but they're still accurate and they're still for real. The other advantage to losing weight ever so slowly, or losing fat ever so slowly and a weight slower than that, is that my skin is not rolling off me. It's also falling into place. I'm feeling better. I feel thinner. When I check my pedometer. I had another one that you could read. I didn't have to, go like that to read it. I was able to read it by just, moving the jacket out of the way. So I'm noticing the differences that I had before. And when it's tough to do something, you start getting a more of an appreciation for what you do have, for your successes, and you don't take them lightly. If I lost weight like that, if I could lose, 40 pounds just like that, I would. How many times have we lost the weight like that and we gained the weight like that? And, there might be ways I could lose weight faster by eating less, by cutting things down, by maybe starving a little bit here and there. But I'm not willing to do that because I'm not on a diet. I'm on a way of life. I'm on a direction for the rest of my life. And in the end, I don't want to lose anything. Who likes to lose stuff? Then you got to go find it. I like to maintain my wellness. And that's all I'm doing. I'm feeling well. I'm being well. And in doing that, in feeling this kind of a feeling, and in sharing it with you, I think that's the real part of living. It's not just about what we eat. It's how we live. And the other point I want to share with you, I'm glad I just thought of this, is one of my sons said to me, Dad, there's one thing about you. Every meal you eat, you say, this is the best meal I have ever eaten. Well, that's the best steak I ever had. That is the best chicken I have ever eaten. And it's true. It's really true. Every moment that I live, I really enjoy and savor the moment. And when you're on, let's call it the happiness diet, you really are happy and you really are enjoying things to the fullest extent because it's like guilt-free. You're in there enjoying the moment, enjoying the meal, not saying, hey, I shouldn't be eating this, or, God forbid, this is too delicious and I'm enjoying it too much. I don't deserve this kind of life. No, I deserve the best and you deserve the best. And I'm standing here in front of you to give you the best I know how to give you. If I've inspired you a little to be happier, go for it. Check us out on thehappinessclub.com. We've got articles. I've written a few on happiness, overcoming diabetes. Please help yourself, but stay happy when you do it, and then you're going to have a wonderful life full of joy, and you'll be eating the right way, and you'll be doing the right things for yourself. That's who you're going to do it for. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. Thanks very much for watching. In the future, we're going to explore other things and other topics designed to help you enjoy life and have a better life. Be good, think well, be happy, and I hope you'll join us again next week here on The Happiness Show. Bye-bye, and stay well.
Happiness is powerful. It's our underlying need. Happiness is why we live each day. Happiness is destiny. So let's be so very happy. Yeah, let's be so very happy. Yeah, let's be so very happy.